So good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome, sir. So my first question is, during one of the recent Hindu missionary movement, so the BJP functionary as well as the film stunt master, Mr. Kannan made a provocatory statement on the departed leader of Dravidian movement, rabid demagogue, Mr. Periyar. So what he said, the statue that was kept in front of the grand entrance of Srirangam has to be removed. I will tell you the exact words or what he said. The day in which the man who said there is no God, the statue that was kept in the grand entrance of Srirangam has to be removed. That is the day in which the Hindu movement are uprising, he was saying blatantly. So what's your thought on this, sir?
Yes, as you said recently, one Mr. Kannan who belongs to BJP party, and he had made a remark, a scathing remark against Mr. E.V. Ramasamy, who is called as E.V. or Ivera by his DK followers. And he has made some remarks. What is the remark he has made? We have to see. He says that because that Ivera statue, everybody knows that he is an atheist, an opportunistic atheist, because he will be speaking something in public and he will be doing something in public. For example, he will be saying that if you see Brahmin and Cobra, first you beat Brahmin. That is what he used to say. But for his trust properties, he used to give tenancy only to the Brahmins. When reporters asked him, what is that you have been speaking against the Brahmins? You are saying that when you see Brahmin and Cobra, you have to beat Brahmin first, but you are giving the tenancy only to the Brahmins. For that he replied, because Brahmins will pay the rent properly, other caste people, they will not pay the rent. Brahmins will be very sincere, they will be paying the rent properly. This is what he used to say. So he is an opportunistic atheist. He will preach something and he will do something. So what he said is, Kanal said is, that Periyar statue, an atheist statue, had been installed in front of the Srirangam Perumal temple. Was it the right place for an atheist statue to be installed? Everyone has to think. Because if they want to erect a statue for an atheist, they could have put it in a public place, they could have put it in a street corner, they could have put it in a roadside. That is the right place for an atheist to have a statue. But what is the intention of erecting Ivera statue in front of the Srirangam Perumal temple? Because Srirangam Perumal temple has got international fame all over the countries. Devotees are coming from so many countries, from so many states of India. So when they come, after seeing the statue, if they inquire, who is this? If anyone says that he is an atheist, what they will be thinking about Tamil Nadu, what they will be thinking about the sanctity of the temple? Is it not disturbing the sanctity of the temple? So these Dravidian parties, particularly the DMK, while they are in power, they have erected statue of the atheist Ivera in front of the temple, that is Srirangam temple. That is what Kannan said, that has to be removed. That if it is removed, that was the right day for the Hindus. That is what he said. Immediately a case has been registered by the Stalin government because he wanted to replace the Periyar statue. He had disturbed the religious peace of the people. This is what they say. They had registered a case, but he was not arrested. Why he was not arrested, the magistrate, previously they were sitting like puppets in the court. Whenever police had brought anybody else stating that a case has been registered, simply they will be remanding for judicial custody. Simply they will be remanding, just sending them to jail. This was happening for so many years. So what happened? Persons who did not do any mistakes, simply because police had registered an FIR, they will be sent to the jail. So in 2014, the Supreme Court said that, no, magistrate, you should not be like a puppet. You should be acting like an inquiring body. Whenever police brings any person along with the FIR, you go through the FIR, You ask them to give some material evidence, prima facie evidence. If there is some prima facie evidence, only then you should remand any person to judicial custody. That is, you should send them to jail only after all such verification. 2014, Supreme Court had made a remarkable judgment. Even after that, and most of the magistrate, they have been remanding everybody. They are remanding everybody. They are sending them to jail. So now what the Supreme Court thought that these people will not function properly, these magistrates, because they don't have stuff. So he had made, Supreme Court has passed another order stating that for all the offences for which the imprisonment is 7 years and below 7 years, they should not be sent to jail. You can simply register the case. Only for offences which exceeds 7 years of imprisonment, you can send them to jail. So that is why Kannan case, he was not arrested for the main case that all those offences are covered before 7 years, within 7 years. So he was spared. He was not arrested. But my question is, if you say that Kannan had spoken against the sentiments, religious sentiment of people, what Evera did during the past years, he was speaking against the God. He was saying he had taken the statues of Hindu gods in the processions, and he used to beat those gods, the statue of gods, with the chapels. Was he arrested at any point of time? Was it not affecting the religious sentiment? Since those Dravidian parties are in power, they did not do that. Periyar had beaten the Hindu statue, particularly Ganesh statue. He was beating with chapels. He was not even arrested even once. But this Kannan had just said that remove Periyar statue. Immediately Stalin government had registered case against him. And even Annadurai, what he did, Annadurai, before he became the chief minister, he was having a meeting in front of this Meenaji Amman temple at Madurai. You know, Meenaji Amman is a very, very, very famous temple. Meenaji Amman temple is a famous temple in Madurai. During 1960s, Anna was holding a meeting and he was speaking in front of the Meenaji temple. Why this Meenaji girl? He was addressing Meenaji Amman as Meenaji girl. Why this Meenaji girl is having a nose ring? Why she is having a necklace? Why she is having a earring? Why she is having a bracelet? In such a way he was criticizing Meenaji Amman. He was not arrested. That was a Congress ruling government that was there in those days during the early 60s. They have not arrested Annadurai. If Kannan case has been registered, all these people, including Annadurai, Evera, should have been arrested. So that had not happened in Tamil Nadu. So my point is, you just Stalin government, you don't think that Periyar is a demigod. He was an atheist, and he should have the recognition not in front of any temples. You even erected your father's statue at the Girivalam path of Thiruvannamalai. That was also wrong. One day that has to be removed. All the atheist statues, wherever it is placed, but if it is placed in front of any religious places, that has to be removed, because that would affect the sentiments of the other religion. So we express our strong condemnation to Stalin for having registered a case as against Kannan, because he had expressed a simple and reasonable view that Periyar statue in front of a famous temple, Srirangam temple, should be removed. So these people are propagating all the atheist ideas. What Stalin family has been doing, recently what had happened, Sabareesan, the son-in-law of Stalin, and along with the family he went to Tiruchendur temple, and he had entered into the temple and he was performing yahas inside the temple. At that point of time, all the people who are praying, who are standing in queues to have the glimpses of Lord Muruga, they were sent out. So they had performed such a yaha, the famous atheist, from the atheist family. These people are opportunistic people. They say that They do not believe in God. But what Stalin was doing in those days, he was standing. I was seeing Stalin standing in the queues of Puttaparthi, Bangalore, for having the glimpse of Satya Sai Baba. He was a devotee of Satya Sai Baba. And he had requested Satya Sai Baba to visit his house. He was taking the Satya Sai Baba to Govalapuram, where the entire family had folded him had greeted him with folded hands. Not only that, most of them had fallen on the feet of Satya Sai Baba. There will be these family, this DMK family will be declaring that they are atheist, they are rationalist, but they will be doing all these spiritual activities inside the house or very secretly. This is what had happened. Stalin, and while visiting a famous leader's leader statue, while garlanding a leader statue, they have given some vibhuti. After taking the vibhuti, Stalin just threw it, just to inform to the public that he was against praying God. He was against using all those religious symbols. But what had happened when he attained the age of 60, the same Stalin went to Tirukadayur temple to have a glimpse. This Durga Stalin, daily her duty is to visit most of the temple. And that Susan Udayanidhi Stalin, what age has been doing, along with the Nayandaras, he had gone to Parani temple, Parani Muruga temple. But in one of the interviews, Udayanidhi Stalin used to say that I don't believe in God. So that is why these people are opportunists, and they are not real rationalists. Even while taking the oath as chief minister, what Stalin did? He was receiving the prasadam from Tirupati. He was wearing the sacred thread in his hands. So they will be talking something, they will be doing something. So my request to Stalin is that first, remove all your atheist statue from all the religious places. Don't provoke people who believe in some sort of religious beliefs. Don't do that. That is my humble request to Mr. Stalin. So just to drop the case which is registered against Mr. Kanal Kannan.
So just to justifying this act, you have rightly quoted about the statue that was kept in front of the grand entrance of Srirangam. The departed leader, Mr. Karunanidhi statue that was placed in the path of Girivalam. And you have rightly quoted about the son-in-law, Mr. Sabarisan visit toward the Tiruchandur temple. So just to justifying their comments, the DMK spokesperson, Mr. R.S. Bharati, who is the incumbent MP as well, he said that DMK is the party that was neither against any religious practice nor against the God as well. So people of Tamil Nadu really know in the past what are all the derogatory comments that they have made on the deity. As you also rightly quoted, Mr. Periyar was hit the Rama ideal with the chapel and those things. So why there is so much promiscuity in their principles?